Hey, it's nearly 1 o'clock and I've barely started. Well, shopping has to be done, etc. I've primed this board with the powder, the gypsum easy fill plaster with PVA glue, diluted in this bottle here. I've also got hold of this. This is sort of like a polyfiller, all-purpose, ready-mixed filler, and it reckons it resists cracking and shrinking. So it's probably a version of the gypsum plaster, but it's got quite a good open time. And I mixed that on. I just primed a couple of boards as if they're drying off. Show you. They're still just a little bit touch dry, but I've just gone over that with the PVA, with that filler. It's water based, so presumably it's PVA. I've got PVA in it, and I mixed it with the PVA glue on the boards, and it works very well. Right, okay, so I want to do something like I don't know. I haven't made my mind up yet. I'm going to do a wodge of trees anyway. Don't really want to do a snow scene because we haven't had any snow. I've done several of those, but it's been very frosty in the mornings in London, South London. So I could just do a bit of parkland, and I'll mix in some trees. Let's just get that on there. Oranges. Get some colour in. And we can scumble over the grassy bits and with some greys to simulate an abstract version of what's going on here. So oranges, I like orange, but I'm mixing my oranges using reds, alizarin, lemon yellow. Just get them in. Get a nice bit of unreal colour, and then we just get that going across here. A bit in the distance, bit of blue in there, and as that dries, I can go over with the sky. Okay, so there's a sort of a landscape there. Let's get some red in, just as an underpainting here. I'm using a cheap house painter's brush, whatever's available. Let's just get some paint on it with a stipple. Create extra texture surface under the paint. So that when it's dry, we can, which won't take long, we can it's dark in there. But by the time we've scumbled over some nice grey colour, that will look like, hopefully that will look like frost, but I want to do a sort of a web of colour as an underpainting, nice and warm. It's sort of having fun, we're trying to have fun with paint anyway. Let's get some nice rich reds in there. I'm going to do a sort of a blue sky, well, blue, white, grey sky. So there we are, we're coming on this. Use a bit of black with that yellow. And now that gives that's just the black mixed with some lemon yellow and a bit of cadmium yellow, medium. Black gives a lovely range of greens. We'll have all of that there's a bit of traditional stuff here. Right, put that brush in there, that's good. Right, clean it off. I'll put my latex gloves on because my fingers are really dry and peel split. Oh, I've got another one on my right hand, I think. Okay. Right, where's my brush? There it is. Give it a bit of a clean. Right, I'm going to put in some blue, some mauvey, shadowy colours in there. Just with a bit of white. I reckon it's dark enough, it's too light. I can use a bit of lots of colour in my tree, my foliage. I'll put some green in. It doesn't really matter, but what the colours are, we're abstracting and making something that will look good in a frame, hopefully look good in a frame. We can also put some shadow in as well. But I'm not leaving that as colourful as that. This is just an interim. Just giving some texture, look, by stippling. Give something to drag over that will catch the lighter or other colours. Just a background. I've got some shadow there. The great thing about acrylic, of course, is it dries very quickly. It's fairly thin, but let's get some nice dark up there. Oh, a bit of background there. Okay. I've got some orange in there. Could almost be a walk around the edge of the Colne Estuary in Essex. Without showing the water. Okay, now we've got quite a bit of texture on there. Right, clean the brush. Now I'll whack in a bit of a sky. So blue, loads of blue and loads of white. Add some other colour to this as we go. Nice and thick. I can put some clouds in that sky, some nice light, colourful clouds. Let's just have fun slopping the paint around. Make it up as you go along, as I'm doing. Put in what you want, enhance what you want, change the colours as you wish. light. What I've done at the bottom along here, I don't know what you call that, the bottom of the easel, I've banged in a couple of nails, a couple of panel pins. Let's just take it down a little bit. In there and there, and I can rest my board. It means that I can paint without moving the bottom. I can get to the bottom of the board, in other words. Makes it easy. Right, that's something covered there. Right, let's get a good slur in there. I want a bit of colour. A bit of red. A bit of alizarin. A bit of lemon yellow. But thick. Got some nice warm bits here. Good dollop. Drag over there. Right, pleasing, try and get a pleasing bit of shape to it. So just use a bit of alizarin and a little bit of lemon yellow just to get something nice in there. See how I've just dragged over that now? I can put it back, but I want to just bring that sky down a little bit. Good sort of abstracty sky. So with oil, you've got to put this on thick to get the brush marks. Okay, that will do for that. Now I'm going to go back and do some work in here now, on the trees. So the oranges. Counter change. My red. Warm in here. Then I can put light blues, use a bit of white and viridian. Fine, just make it up as you go along. Until if you see some nice shapes that you want to exploit, then exploit them. I thought we'd put some nice greens over there. Okay, looking good. You need the reds to enhance the greens. and all the violets. Well, I'm not using violets, just mauve, then the blues, the blue and the red. Right, let's get that. I'll put more blue on this. This is a bit of a distance here. It's catching the light from wherever. Right. Clean the brush. So I'll mix some blue and white and some red. Get some shadow. And I'll put some nice greens over this. Try creating this. Try to create a web of colour, as Ron Ransom would say, to describe dragging over rich dried paint. Alright, let's want some frosty colour, more frosty colour over this. Send that back into the distance a little bit. But let some of that red show through. Meanwhile, I'll be thinking of the title. But keep this subordinate to the other side. Right. Clean, clean, clean. I've used these brushes for years, these cheap Chinese brushes. They're so these, well, they do vary in quality and they're getting thinner over the years, but provided you keep them clean, this does, look, there's so many different things. It's a wonderful brush. And I just said, well, I've got loads of them. Well, 2 or 3. A nice call. Come up here with them. Right, get a bit of green. Nice green in there now. Just to make the reds sing a little bit. I just cadged yellow and a viridian. Don't use viridian when I'm doing watercolour, but it's a lovely shortcut. Look at that, it's a lovely, beautiful green. A bit of darker green. Oh, just dragging over that. Well, we'll let that dry a bit. Let's go a bit of bluey green over this. Oh, now, I don't know how the foreground is, but let's have a look. Take the glove off. I don't want the glove sticking. Oh. These latex gloves are rubbish, really. Not quite dry. They're so delicate. Well, they were cheap. I mean, I got what I paid for, I suppose. They're only really meant for one use, but I just pulled the tip off of that one. Right. Now we're going to put in this bit of frosty colour. Just drag over this to give that impression. More shadow behind that tree. This is only my idea of it, it's only a way of doing it. I'm going to reduce all of this in temperature. But you can only do that when it's dry. Now I'm making this up as I'm going along, so I'm not copying anything, I'm just working away, and if it looks right then leave it alone. But of course sometimes the temptation is too great to fiddle. It's a bit darker there, that's shadow coming to the light there. Yeah, that's looking quite interesting, like my garden this morning. It'd be more intense as you go, as you're looking in perspective. You wouldn't see so much detail from the grass, from the foreground grass, so just a little bit in the foreground. Some of the grasses show through, but as you go to the distance, the less detail. Just dragging nicely. Right, now we get some colour into that, bit of that yellow mix and alizarin. Because there it will be light, catching the light coming through the gap in the trees. And we're going to put a bit of mist over that lot, and then just keep going over it until you've got something that you're pleased with. Get that thick there. Good. Are you with me still? Right, let's just lay this back a bit here now. No, that's not dry. Right, I'll give that a bit of a dry, so take your headphones off if you're listening on radio. That needs just a little bit more there. I didn't use a lot of texture paste on this. Well, when I say texture paste, I mean my plaster and the PVA glue. I'm going to confuse you. Okay, there we go. And we can put a bit of foreground stuff in it. Show a little bit of warm. Bit of red. Always goes well. Bit of yellow. Bit of green. Just a bit too much red there. drag over that now, but it should be dry. Oh, almost. A bit of blue, a bit of white. Just reduce the intensity of a cold morning. There's a bit more blue in there, I think. Okay, so we've got that laid back. A bit more drying in there, and we'll work on the foreground a bit. The sky's fine. It's just a bit misty, low down. So we'll do the same on the left as on the right. This is a bit of red in there. Just a bit of colour showing through. We can always go over it. Well, seeing that my abstract one I did yesterday hasn't done too badly. I just had one unlike, but I expected more by this time. But anyway, I hope you'll go on and have a look at it. I certainly enjoyed doing it. Doing it right on Facebook as well. Just blend all this. Use a bit more blue, a bit of red. Just warm it up a little bit. Oh, what does that look like? That looks quite misty, doesn't it? The sky's clearing. Maybe if I with a little bit of detail out of that. So. No good having the mist if part of the sky at the bottom is showing detail, so let's get rid of that detail in there. Oh, just checking over those high spots. Okay. I'm not showing any branches or stuff like that. It's a bit of red back in there. This is where we just want the warmer colours shining through. Right, I don't think I'm going to look at that put it in a frame. We might be able to work on it in a frame, perhaps a bit better if I can get it in a frame. I do have the very thing nearby. Take that out there and put the frame. These are a couple of gallery frames that I've had for some time now, and they are very nice. Now that doesn't quite fit, but more or less. Oh yes it does, yeah, just about. So what can we do to improve that then? Let's just bring it down a little bit. Well, I don't know, I think that's looking quite interesting. I'll have to put a little bit of detail back because I think I've taken too much out, and I've got this sky behind which should be misty, so I'll need to work on that a bit. Change that colour there. Or white, blue, or what's it, white. Just taking out some of that detail. And just the sun's coming through. Maybe we could put the sun in. Yeah, a bit of a challenge, isn't it? See if we can get a bit of a halo around it. Show hardly. So what I'm trying to do here, trying to show the sun, but with a sort of a halo. Not enough dark on there really. So just put a bit of white on there. Maybe that'll show that. No, that's not really working, is it? Let's paint it out. Let's get that white back in there. Well, I'm tempted to let that go. That is abstract. I'll probably just put a bit of some dark back on that side, on the left hand side. Oops. I've got in the page in my frame. Just a little bit of light coming through there. Bit of alizarin. Bit of mauve. Well, on the camera that shows as a bit of depth. Let's come over across here a little bit more. Bit of shadow in there. Right, I'm going to let that go. That is a frosty morning. As best I can do without any reference material. As you can see, I've sort of made it up as I've gone along. Just put a little bit more down here. A bit of Wandle by river. Just get a bit of sparkle on there. Hope that shows. Right, okay, so misty, frosty morning somewhere. So there's no real detail that you can lock onto. So maybe we could have a focal point of some description. Got a focal point brush. There's one. There's that one. Maybe we could put in a bit of a church spire or something like that. Just showing in the background. Oh, cool. A bit tricky. Sorry if I'm asking you because I'll try that off and scumble over it. I'm just going to use a flat brush. A little flat, because that is just not really showing very well. I know the focal point is right in the middle of the picture, just off centre, let's say. Let's put that in there. Sorry. That blue. I'll lay that back in a minute. I'll make that even fainter. Just some little buildings. Needed something just to focus the eye. Right, I'm going to dry that off and I'll see if I can lay it back a bit. Right, headphones. my laying back brush. I'm quite excited by that. I'm not one for painting outdoors, I've tried it. But one of my, if you get a chance on Facebook, look at Terry Preen, Terry Preen. He stands outside all weathers and paints a bit like Trevor Chamberlain. Lovely impressionist, sizzly style. Gorgeous. Alright, well, was that alright? It doesn't show on the screen, but it certainly will show in the picture. Well, there we are. That's all I can do with that. I'll zoom you in. I'll look at it and I might have to make adjustments to it, but let's come in. So there we are, my little buildings there. I'll make sure that's perpendicular before I put it on Facebook, but I'll be straight in the frame. Sorry, probably needs just come over just a touch. So I'll do this while I can. Right, okay, that'll do. It looks like there's a big mist here with a clearing sky at the top, so I reckon that was okay. The mist is lifting. We've got a nice bright, but anyway, it's an abstract, isn't it? It doesn't exist. It's a figment of our imagination. I enjoy doing it. I hope you enjoy watching it. Let's go around the picture. So you can see what I've done, the constant dragging over the dry paint. I've warmed it up, giving the impression that this bit is coming round towards us, so less mistiness, or more detail. So the sky. Right, let's come out. You look at it for a few seconds. Any unpleasant shapes? That probably is not very good there. That doesn't please me. So while we've got the brush, let's just take that and reduce that a little bit there. Just some mist hanging around. Trouble is, you can fiddle with these things forever. Right, that'll do. Probably was better a bit earlier on. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.